Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. Now if you're wondering why we didn't get the intro screen here, that's because this footage was actually donated to me by Cymbal. This is taken from a solo ranked game. We're going to be following Cymbal in this one. And it just turned out to be such a noteworthy game that he thought it would make for a good YouTube video. And as it turns out, I'm going to call this video the strongest team that I've ever seen in Teamfight Tactics. And we're going to get to that in time, but a number of things come together in this game that allows Cymbal to put together an absolutely ridiculous team setup. Alright, first one of those is the portal for this game. The portal for this game is Crab Rave. You might have seen most of the players in the lobby chose to run over to that one. It is not one of my favorites. It's kind of like a for fun portal, one of the ones that they added to the game. They being the developers, added to the game just to make it, I don't know, a bit more of a crazy loot fiesta. But what this portal does is all of the minions are replaced by scuttle crabs. They drop additional loot, and then starting on stage 5, you get a super powered crab that is very easy to just defeat your team wholesale. Actually pretty easy for it just to beat your team. So it's kind of a gimmicky setup in all honesty, but people like it because it gives them more loot. And one of the things we've seen over the course of Set 9 and Set 10 is most of the players will vote for whatever gives the most loot. Not what provides a balanced game experience, but what just gives them the most shiny stuff. I'm a little bit disappointed about that, but, you know, that's the reality. That's the world we live in, and such is life. Okay, anyway, so Cymbal's trying to put together a board here. So far, nothing too crazy going on in this game. He had the option to maybe sell some units to try to get to 10 gold here on the second minion round, but opted not to do that. That's something that people often do. Instead, he's holding units to actually make his board stronger. And thus far, it looks like he's going with a rapid-fire backline and then a bruiser frontline. So pretty straightforward stuff. He has not picked up any of the headliners that we've seen thus far. He has 2 out of 3 Sennas, and then he has 2 out of 3 Toms and 2 out of 3 Gragas's. So pretty basic thus far. Again, because this is Crab Rave Portal, you do not get the normal minions. You get crabs that dance in place, and they do drop bonus loot. Note that everyone drops an additional gold coin, and is Cymbal have enough gold to get to 10? Is he going to sell to get to 10? Yes, that seems like a smart decision right there. You really want to be at 10 gold after this round on the Crab Rave Portal because there's so much additional income. Alright, so out of the additional options here, Cymbal has a couple different choices. He sees that AFK is a possibility for his board, and he's going to go ahead and take this. You cannot perform actions for the next 3 rounds. Afterwards gain 18 gold. Now there actually is one small minor little micro thing that Cymbal also could have done. You notice that he was able to move units around. He was able to put items in. If you're going to take AFK as your initial augment, you have to do that before you click the button. As soon as you click the button, you can't do anything for the next 3 rounds. That is, you can't buy things in the shop, you can't move units, you can't put items on the board, nothing. You are completely locked in place once you take that. So Cymbal did a great job there, but there is one more minor micro thing that he could have done, and that is he could have put Tahm Kench in the leftmost slot on his bench. Because the way AFK works is, again, you can't do anything for the first couple rounds, so you usually lost streak through the first couple rounds. You probably would not have beaten this board anyway, so it's not such a bad thing. It's actually a very good augment to take if you have a board that's kind of on the weaker end, which Cymbal does here. But as I said, what he could have done, I'm sorry, I keep burying the lead here. He could have put the Tahm Kench in the leftmost slot because he will hit level 4 on stage 2-3. And then the Tahm Kench will go on the board. Whatever units in the leftmost slot will go onto the board when you hit level 4 on 2-3. So that would have put Tom on the board, and that would have put Bruiser trait in play. Like I said, it's a very minor optimization, but it would have made his board stronger. Of course, you could also make the case that he maybe should have put the Senna on the leftmost side to make his board as weak as possible because he wants to lost streak through these rounds. That's also an argument. But I'm assuming that he wants his board to be a little bit stronger. He probably would still lose all the rounds. Tahm Kench would, though, get Bruiser trait in play, and that's probably what he can do. But oh no! He hits another AFK player. Another person just open forting it here in the lobby, not even attempting to play a board. And so he's going to end up winning this, and so any notion that he was going to lost streak through these rounds is going to come to a close. It's actually kind of wild winning a round when you have AFK augment in. Kind of wild anytime that happens, but yeah, so Cymbal actually does win the round there. Oftentimes on these heavy econ portals, you just get people that are just, like I said, not really trying to feel. Look at this. It was at like 6 of the 8 players did not level to level 4. on 2-1. Almost everybody was still level 3 on the initial round, so that means that this is a lobby where not many people are attempting to play a serious board. He actually hit one of the people who was trying to play a legitimate board on the first round and then lost that one. Looks like a couple people are playing Punk in this lobby. I have looked at some of this footage from this game, but I have not followed the early game too closely when I went through this replay earlier. Yeah, so you can see the Gragas, as I mentioned. Whatever unit's in the left-hand side is going to get tossed on the board. It is the Gragas. Probably would have preferred to have the Tahm Kench there, but like I said, it is kind of a small thing. Even putting Tahm would not have won this round, let's be clear about that. But I probably would have killed one more unit with the Bruiser bonus in play. A bit unfortunate to go loss-win-loss for the initial 3 rounds, but all told, Cymbal did only lose 13 health. That's not too bad. That's reasonable. And he's going to get a boatload of money as a result of this. He's going to get 18 gold, and he probably will be first pick on the carousel. He might be second pick here. We'll have to keep an eye on what he goes for, as this Aphelios shoots a Gragas and eventually does win the fight. So yeah, he is going to be first pick on the carousel, so that's kind of nice as well. Any spatulas here to grab? There is in fact a spatula. Let's see if Cymbal goes for that one. Usually if there's a spat, people want it. Alright, well, that got taken rather quickly. So he's going to take the Gragas. Going to make 2-star Gragas. Not bad. Also get a tier. I don't know which direction he's going in. And the tier's going to make Spiro Shojin for his Senna. So that's a nice pickup right there. Getting the 2-star Gragas and Spear plus Sword plus tier for his Senna. Going to make Senna significantly stronger. This was played before the most recent patch where Senna got buffed, got some pretty significant buffs. So this was before that took place. Also note that there's a Heartsteel Cassante in the store as a headliner, so that's a potential option to play as well. Yeah, Cymbal's already up to 52 gold right now. So yeah, his board just got, as I said, just got way, way, way stronger just like that. So he's going to put that unit on the board. If he wins this round, he's at 50 gold, which is pretty wild to be at 50 gold on stage 2-5. And remember, that's with a silver augment. That is not with like a gold or prismatic augment that gives you like a crazy amount of gold. That's a silver augment. So looking pretty good here, to say the least. He did not lose that much health, and he has a crazy amount of econ. Again, that is the gold from the AFK augment being combined together with the gold from the crab rate portal as well. And by the way, how many people are playing Punk in this lobby? This is like the 3rd Punk board we've seen. So yeah, it is a little bit unfortunate that Cymbal won that round. He's going to sell the Tahm Kench. He wants to be at 50 gold. That makes sense. He can almost certainly find another Bruiser. Ideal would be finding Set, which would give him Heartsteel and Bruiser traits in. And oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Well, sometimes you just get lucky. I think it's definitely worthwhile to level here to play. Oh, he's actually not going to level here. Wow. So this is the difference between me and Cymbal. I would have 100% just leveled to put in that extra unit. He's actually going to take the Jinx off the board and just continue staying over 50 gold here. This is, you know, we all have different playstyles. One thing that's fun about casting people's videos is the chance to look at different things. Admittedly, I don't think the Jinx was doing very much on this board, but like, I don't know, going under 50 gold here I don't think is that big of a deal. I think I'd rather just have the Jinx on the board here. Also would give you, I was going to say also would give you a level 5 shop for the next round, but he is going to get a level 5 shop for the next round anyway, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. Still, the Bruiser front line is pretty strong for this stage of the game. Cassante just randomly in there as a 2-star unit. Does not look like Cymbal's going to win this round because there's multiple 2-stars over there on the other side. I don't think he wins this. I guess we'll find out. But I think that the Corki and the Kaisa do win this one. Still, it's a very good loss, so I guess Cymbal did play that just about perfectly. He took almost no damage, he continued the loss streak, and he was able to stay over 50 gold. So, shows what I know. I think he played that, as I said, just about perfectly. All right, so yeah, he's gonna be like level 6 before the next minion round even starts up. So yeah, he's certainly in a good position here. He has lost a decent amount of health. Now, he has lost 21 health, more health than you would probably prefer to lose, but his econ is just downright amazing, and that's even with that loss on stage 2-2. If he had won that round, he probably would be level 6 with 50 gold in the bank already, but he could probably be level 6 by the end of this minion round. Now, note some of the loot he's going to get. He is going to get a champion duplicator. That's pretty nice. And then, wow, he gets another set. He gets a Yone. Okay. That's starting to look pretty nice. He's also got a Mordekaiser who can go in for Sentinel trait. And now he just needs to find an Aphelios. If he can find Aphelios, then he's got, he can play 5 Heartsteel, which would be pretty nice. He's actually going to roll for it. Okay. Pretty sure he's looking for Aphelios, and there it is. Wow. again, high roll in the shop for sure. So 5 Heartsteel and then a setup that's not even that bad. 2 Bruiser, 2 Rapid Fire. So yeah, okay, that's pretty good. And he's still over 50 gold as well, so he didn't even have to sacrifice much econ. So wow, what a start to this game. Also is going to pick up the Thresh and the Akali, which seems right to me. Probably could drop the Poppy, maybe. I guess I'll have to decide. I suppose Poppy could go in for Mosher trait, but probably one of these other units would be better. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But like, this isn't even really that bad of a board in terms of Heartsteel, and like in terms of like board strength, it's not even that bad. So yeah, looks like he's actually going to win this round, from what I can see. Does need to hit one more Senna for Senna 2-star, but yeah. So we've had a whole bunch of different econ things combining together here in this game. We've had first the Crab Wraith portal that's given everybody bonus loot, then AFK Augment, which is extra loot, and then now 5 Heartsteel on 3-1. A lot of things coming together in this game that you would not normally have. You could make the argument that Tiny Titans is a good choice here because Cymbal's got Heartsteel in, and you just want more health to bleed away in exchange for Heartsteel cash outs. He's going to take the item, though. That is going to give him a little bit more combat value, and he's going to get Archangel Staff, which is not terrible. It's decent on Senna. This does mean that he's pretty clearly pushed into an AP direction, though. It means he probably does not want to play like Ezreal with this particular build, so he probably wants to lean towards something that scales up over time with AP. So obviously Ahri is one of the first things that would pop up. I would say something like Twisted Fate, except that this was the patch where Twisted Fate was really terrible. If by some chance you could find like a Ziggs, that would be pretty solid. So the Archangel Staff does mean that you are probably not going to be looking to play Ezreal, Zed, Caitlyn, etc. You're not looking to head in that direction. So that was an interesting augment, both in terms of the fact that it did give him a little bit of an additional combat strength, and it also gave the rest of his game a lot more direction in terms of where he would want to take this. Does not appear that he's going to win this round, but if he can kill a few more units, it's not going to be too bad of a loss right there. And all right, Senna got one more, so that's going to be worth quite a few Heartsteel hearts, up to 77 already. I think he got about 50 hearts for that, roughly, that loss, because he has the Heartsteel 5 in. Not bad, although, you know, he did lose some health on stage. On stage 2, so you have to be a little bit careful not to bleed out. That's always the danger with Heartsteel, is just making sure you don't just bleed out completely before you can hit all those cash outs. There's also an affiliate to the store that surely would be worth picking up, yeah. And there's a decent number of pairs on the board. He did just pair the Senna, or he did just 2-star the Senna, so that's nice. And it looks like he's going to sell some of his board to generate some additional econ while holding onto the Akali, which is interesting. I guess he could play Akali for true damage on level up. He could also play the Echo or the Mordekaiser for Sentinel trait on level up. So definitely has some options here. Shouldn't be too hard to get to level 7 after the carousel. Can probably be level 7, 50 gold after the carousel. We're very close to it. And if this is a loss, which it looks like it will be, it's going to be another possible first pick off the carousel. Yeah. 127 Heartsteel hearts, so that's pretty good. And now it just depends on what these other players do. Is will Cymbal be the first pick on this carousel? Let's see if that person on 64 health ends up losing. All right, so he's going to be second pick because that other person did lose. So again, you know, just an absolutely fabulous game from an economic perspective. A somewhat dicey game in terms of health perspective. Now, there is an Ezreal on this carousel, so that could be a possibility, except, yeah, that gets snapped up instantly. And that's the difference between being first or second pick. The Ezreals, this patch was very heavy on Heartsteel, so people definitely like to take the Ezreals out of the pool. They tended to get snapped up right away on carousels. Instead, we are going to see a Blitzcrank taken here, so that is yet another Sentinel option. It's also a 4 gold champion, so that's kind of nice. Don't think this game's going to go in the disco direction. I can just tell you that from knowing where it ends up. Not going to head in that direction, but Blitzcrank is just a Sentinel, as the most expensive Sentinel is nice. Alright, so Heartsteel cash out yields 2 items, a Tear and a Rod. Not bad. So there's another unit that can be played here. Probably Blitzcrank is the best, although you could make a case that Akali would be good to put in for true damage, because the biggest issue on the board right now is probably not the front line. I think the front line's pretty solid, but actually need more damage. Yeah, I think that's the correct play, is to put in the Akali, and then going to make a Hand of Justice to activate them. So this activates the bling bonus for Senna, and it also puts true damage in play. So now Senna will deal some true damage, and also adds the damage of Akali as well. I do think that was the correct decision to make that switch. I don't think that this build needed more frontline. I think it needed more actual damage over there. So this is another close fight, and it's actually going to turn into a win. Almost a very good loss, but the frontline held up long enough. And now that Senna's 2-starred with good items, and with her Bling bonus in play, that drops her mana cost so she can cast more quickly. The board is definitely going to be looking to be a bit stronger. Now, Cymbal's picking up Vexes, which is a little bit odd. I'm not quite sure I see how Vex fits into this current setup, but he is going for Vexes. So that is something. Like I said, it certainly doesn't feel like Vex fits this board in terms of where it is right now. Could be a unit that he could switch into. I mean, these items would be pretty good on Vex, to be sure. But this doesn't feel like an emo board. It doesn't feel like an executioner's board. So the Vexes are a little bit puzzling to me. But like I said, Vex can use the items that Sen is holding reasonably well. Now this other person has already hit 3-star Samira. This is the other person who also went AFK. They've hit 3-star Samira. They have 7 country in because they apparently got that initial spatula. If you remember, there was a spatula in the very first stage 2 carousel, and they used it to make a country emblem. So they have 7 country in. You can tell because Hecarim has the gold little borders over there. So yeah, 3-star Samira and 3-star Hecarim on stage, what is this, on stage 3-6. That's pretty early to be hitting that. Kind of wild right there. In any case, Cymbal's getting closer to level 8. Presumably, he's going to get to level 8 and then sell the Cassante, try to find his new unit, and start moving into his endgame configuration. He has another minion round here, so again, bonus loot from the Scuttle Crabs because this is the Crab Rave portal, and we'll just have to see what he manages to get out of this particular one. Okay, another tier. Interesting. A lot of tiers, confirming that he really does need to go in an AP direction, a magic damage direction. Also going to get a Yone and some more frontline stuff. All right, well, he can run Yone 2-star, so that's not bad. A lot of other options here as well. So some of this stuff can go on the front line, to be sure. He has, let's see. Well, as I said, he's got a number of options here. That's what, like 6 items or something like that he can make here. Let's see what Cymbal does here. I do not recall what he... I have not watched what he did with these items previously. So, Evan Shroud, that would be good if you wanted AD. Okay, Quicksilver. Not a bad item for Akali. Gonna make Evan Shroud. Okay. Now, that's an interesting choice because all of his items... I don't really like the Evan Shroud here because all of his items are configured for like an AP setup. I mean, I guess Akali has Quicksilver Hand of Justice, but those are not like heavy AD items. But like his team is very heavy on magic damage, and he's got what is it? He's got a Spear of Shojin. He made a Death Cap, and he has an Archangel Staff. Like this says, I am going for an AP comp to me. I don't know why you'd slam the Evan Shroud here. I just don't think that fits his board. If anything, it should have been Ionic Spark that you want to slam there because your team's doing magic damage, not physical damage. But anyway. All right, so definitely a lot of options here. Last one is Prismatic. He's going to take the Golden Egg. Okay. Well, this is the high risk, high reward option. This is, you get the Golden Egg that's going to hatch after, what is it, after 11 rounds. And if you win a round, it drops the counter by 2 instead of by 1. So I would definitely not take the Golden Egg in a lobby where I was already on 55 HP and my board was not amazingly strong. But that is a difference in playstyle between me and Cymbal. I do not have as much tolerance for risk on this. So this is like a 1st or 8th play. It's like I'm either going to win the lobby or I'm probably going to go out in like 6th, 7th, or 8th place. I would have probably looked for, I don't know, if he's going into a spellcasting board, the Cybernetic Uplink might have been a good choice there. But hey, go big or go home. And if you're watching this video, you probably know that this is going to work out. But like when you're playing Heartsteel trait already and you get a Prismatic and everyone else in the lobby is going to take like a Prismatic combat augment and you are not, I don't know, man. The odds that this is going to work out feel a little bit low to me. Taking the Golden Egg feels like a bit of a grief in this situation where you're playing Heartsteel, you're already losing rounds, and everybody else is going to get the power of a Prismatic Augment, and you're not. So, anyway, like I said, it's going to work out here in this game, but I would probably not do this myself. In any case, though, we are going to get another Heartsteel cash out, so that's 26 gold worth of value there. And now we're going to look for the new headliner. It looks like it was a Thief's Glove. or some kind of Thief's Glove. I think it's not the standard Thief's Glove. So looking for a new headline. Oh, by the way, that was a lot of Lulus here. Apparently there's a fire sale on Lulus, but still trying to find a new headliner here. Gragas is going to come out as well. Looks like Blitz is going to get the tank items. Still looking for that new headliner. And let's see what we can find here. All right, 2-star Echo. That's going to help. And, oh, Spellweaver Ahri. Okay. Yeah, alrighty. Well, that's going to help right there. So this is going to be the headliner that Cymbal wants to play through. He's going to drop the Senna, and he's going to move these items over to the Ahri. And he already is playing the Akali, so he's going to have some synergy there between them. And oof, yeah, takes another bad loss there. That was not what you were looking for right there. So he's going to have to transition his board here, and he is down to 33 health. So he does not have a lot of time left to make this transition happen. So let's see how well he can do this. He also has a carousel here. So what is he going to try to take off this one? He is going to be first pick, so there's some definite options there. There's a Kiana on the carousel, so he's going to grab that. The advantage of being first pick on carousel, there actually is someone with Young, Wild, and Free augment, but they did not go for the Kiana. So it looks like he's going to try to play into true damage with the Kiana, but also play Ahri at the same time, which is a very unusual setup. Normally when you're playing Ahri, you're playing Spellweaver KDA, because those are her two traits, but it looks like he's going to play true damage plus the Spellweaver, because it is a Spellweaver Ahri, not a KDA Ahri. And 2-star Blitz, that's going to be pretty nice. All right, these items are going to go over to Ahri. Now, one thing I do have to point out is these are not bad items on Ahri, but they are definitely not her best in slot items. We'll talk more about Ahri itemization in a minute. One good thing though is he does have a lot of frontline, and this is certainly going to do a lot of damage. I see. Vex is in there for Executioner trait with the Akali, so that makes sense why that's there. Also a Lucian. Is there a way to get Lucian on the board? And then this Thief's Glove. It's actually a Blacksmith's Glove, so it equips 2 Ornn items every round. And that's going to go onto the Kiana. By the way, if you're wondering why there are 2 Kianas on the board, one of them is with the Trickster's class. So Kiana absolutely does have the chance to start printing items, and that's really nice because he has Kiana in at such an early date that there's decent odds that Kiana can start printing some items here. It's not usual to have Kiana in on 4 or 5. Usually she doesn't show up until a bit later. And with a true damage board, a lot of her damage is going to be true damage. Just need one more true damage unit here. Although I'm not sure what that would be. None of them really fit this board especially well. By the way, note that the Akali on this board is not a KDA Akali. It's a true damage Akali being played alongside Ahri. Very odd. A very, very odd situation. Not what you would normally see. There is also some wonkiness on this board in the sense that there are 3 Sentinels, which is kind of not what you want. So really would like to get one of these Sentinels off the board if possible. Yone, I don't think that you need on this board either. I'm not quite sure why the Yone would be there. Lulu gives Spellweaver, so that's not too bad. And then probably could take either the Mord or the Echo off the board, but I would think you'd want to take the Mord off the board. The Mord off the board. Just because you want the Spellweaver trait that's on Echo. So looking pretty solid. It's starting to get there. 4 Spellweaver, 3 true damage is a little bit wonky, but trying to get there. And the Ahri seems to be doing a pretty nice job. Now the front line's starting to kick in as well. And can Kiana print an item here? No. Looks like she was close to doing so, but didn't. So definitely stabilized the last 2 rounds off the Ahri headliner and was able to get a couple wins for that golden egg. Super important to win these rounds because every time that you win the round, it does lower the cooldown by 2 from 7 to 5. There we go. 2-star Akali. That's going to help a lot, actually. I have no idea whether there's Ghost Akalis on the bench there. Yeah. There's definitely some bugs with the whole Akali Ahri kind of thing. So this is definitely looking pretty solid. Yeah, you can see picks up the Senna and the Kennen because those are units that can be played for 4 true damage as a possibility. And I guess the other possibility is you could look to play Sona for 5 Spellweaver would also be a possibility. Okay, so our last round of items here. Wow, another duplicator popping out. That's 2 duplicators thus far. Also a Tome of Traits. Okay, well that's kind of nice. So this provides some additional possibilities as well. And let's see, what is he going to pull from the Tome of Traits? He's actually going to level 9. Wow, okay. Not even rolling to stabilize here, just going straight to level 9. Jeez, okay. Cymbal plays much greedier than I do, I'll just say that. Anyway, he is going to get a true damage emblem, which is pretty nice that he's going to be able to grab that. So now he can get the 4 true damage in, and now the logical last unit to play is Sona on his board. All right, he's going to go ahead, and he is going to make the Ionic Spark. That's a really smart decision. That's going to allow the magic resistance of the frontliners to get debuffed, which is really crucial when playing this board. Ahri does not have backline access. She's always going to be hitting frontliners with her ability, so it's really, really important to have an Ionic Spark on the front line that will debuff the magic resistance of the tank units on the front line and make it much easier for Ahri to kill them. By the way, Ahri gets very low, does get taken out in this fight, but it looks like the rest of the team is enough to hang in there and win this round. Actually, the Akali did the most damage in this fight, not the Ahri. But yeah, Cymbal's going to level 9. Like I said, I would be focusing on strengthening the rest of the board, though I guess he did 2-star most of his board, so I guess that's fair. He did 2-star most of it. But it does feel a little odd going to 9 in a situation like this as opposed to trying to make... But as I said, I guess he did 2-star most of his board, so maybe it does make sense to go to 9. If he can win this round, the golden egg is going to hatch, though. Alright, so let's just take a second and cover Ahri. So, like I said, these are good Ahri items. I don't want to make the case that they are bad. However, they are definitely not best in slot Ahri items. Generally speaking, people try to put a blue buff on Ahri. Blue buff is a little bit better than Shojin, although they're roughly comparable. And then in addition to that, people typically want to get a Gnasher's Tooth because that increases her attack speed. Because she casts so frequently, she always has the bonus attack speed from Gnasher's Tooth up. And then the last item people generally want to get on her is a Gunblade. And that's because Ahri does enough damage that she usually overkills the front line. Ahri has very high single target damage. Her big issue is she can only hit one target at a time. So a lot of her damage typically gets wasted. And the Gunblade means that her damage is not getting wasted. If she's overkilling the front line, then it gets redirected back into healing for the rest of the team. All right, well, in any case, though, Golden Egg hatches. It's going to produce triple artifact items and another champion duplicator. That's 3 champion duplicators. So, Cymbal only needs to find 2 more Ahris to get Ahri 3-star. He needs to find 1 more Ahri for Ahri 3-star. There's a Sona, which is indeed the best unit to put on the board here. And 2-star Kiana, and then also oh my goodness, there it is. I was going to say also another Kiana. So he just found a Sona for 5 Spellweavers. He hit the 2-star Kiana, and he hit 6 Ahris with triple champion duplicators. So, yep, that means we're about to get 3-star Ahri here as soon as the next combat round starts. So, Cymbal's board just got a lot stronger. Not only does he gonna have 3-star Ahri, he also got 3 artifact items from his Golden Egg cash out. Now he stuck one of them on Alawi, gave Alawi a, what was that? That was the Anima Visage, which gives a lot of health and inherent health regeneration, as Mordekaiser loses the duel to Ezreal over there. Also has a Zanya's Paradox, and then a, what is that, a Triforce as well. So a lot of good stuff, and he actually has item removers, so he can shift these items around a little bit. But any case, now it's time for him to take another item, and what he really needs now is frontline. He kind of has all the carry items he needs, so he's going to go ahead and take the Gargoyle Stoneplate. This is not a great tank item. It especially tends to be better in the early game than the late game, but I do think that that was a good choice. He just needs more frontline stuff, and so he can slap this on Alawi, and it's going to be a pretty good option right there. All right, so going to buy the Akali, and actually probably technically should roll. This is actually a very minor mistake here. He should probably roll his remaining 6 gold and see if he hits one of the Ahris naturally, because if he does hit an Ahri naturally, then what he could do is he could duplicate the Alawi or duplicate the Sona. So as I said, that's a very minor little issue there, but it is a small optimization he could have made. Okay, time to put these items on other units. He has now got the Zanyas on the Ahri, which is very nice. It's going to give her additional AP and make her invulnerable if she actually gets focused in combat. And then now he also has the Trinity Force on the Akali, which is definitely better than double Hand of Justice. Like, one Hand of Justice is fine, actually quite good because you do want some healing on Akali, but the double is a little bit of overkill. Meanwhile, by having the Trinity Force, it just gives a ton of stats over there. And 3-star Ahri is, of course, just going to put out absolutely insane damage. That's 15,000 damage that Ahri did in the fight. So, yeah, okay. Getting the triple champion duplicator is pretty wild. It also doesn't look like anyone is playing Ahri in this lobby. So, the combination of the headliner plus the lack of anyone else playing this unit definitely made it pretty convenient to hit the unit. as well. And there's still quite a bit of game left to go, so we can see how many more units he can hit. He's trying to hit the Alawi and the Sona. Hitting the Alawi would be bigger. Sona's unitemized at the moment, so hitting Alawi would be bigger. But hitting the Sona would also be nice. And I mean, I guess you can pick up extra Akalis and extra Blitzes, because why not? At this stage of the game, why not? Also, again, minor optimization. Lulu should be next to the Ahri and next to the Sona so that they'll cast faster. Lulu doesn't need to be next to the Tentacle. Remember, when she casts her Hyper Pop trait, it's going to give bonus mana and bonus attack speed to the units near her. So, as I said, these are really small things, but I figure I might as well point them out while we're doing this video, because, we're always trying to get better at these games. Well, this round's not even freaking close. Ahri just absolutely annihilates everything on that board. And it helps. And by the way, Kiana printed an item. So there you go. There's a glove. Getting some more item components as well. So yeah, 2-star Kiana should probably print at least a few components here and there, which is also going to be quite nice. Now, what does Ahri get when she goes to 3-star? Well, the biggest thing that she gets is obviously her damage goes up by like a crazy amount. If I'm looking at the cheat sheet here, which I think may actually be out of date, but I'm just going to look at what's on here. Anyway, it looks like her damage more than doubles. It like goes up by a little bit more than double when she is 3-starred. But the big thing is she throws out 2 charms at a time instead of 1. And like I said, that's always the biggest thing with Ahri, is she is all single target damage. That's why she has a lot of trouble. Like, she does a ton of damage, but it's all focused on like 1 target at a time. 3-starring her means that she hits 2 targets at a time, so she can cut through the front line much faster. As a quick refresher on Ahri's ability, I'll just read the text here because she's the featured unit in this video. Blow a kiss at the current target. It deals magic damage and briefly stuns them. If the target has been kissed before, deals empowered magic damage instead. The empowered basically is double damage. It's a little bit less than that, but it's basically they take double damage on the second kiss that gets thrown at them. By the way, this is the Crab Rave round. You might have noticed that some of the players are losing to the Crab Rave. That's quite standard. You need a lot of healing to beat the Crab Rave. So 3 of the 4 players beat it. 1 of the other players did not beat it. And you can see you get like crazy, again, you get crazy loot payouts if you are able to beat the Crab. So that's 2 more item anvils. By the way, that's 6 Blitzcrank, 6 Akalis. Okay, getting close on both of those units. That's 7 Blitzcranks. All right. Still just the Alawi one and the Sona one. It would be nice to hit them, but here's a chance to maybe get some items for the frontliners. Yeah, Wormwogs is perfect for Alawi, and then the Rage Blade is going to be perfect for Sona. I did not see what Cymbal was going to take previously. I just figured he would take the Rage Blade because it's such a good choice. And then now he's got an Alawi in his shop, so that can make Alawi 2-star. Because he's in a 5 Spellweaver board, you could make the case that his Sona could actually take the attack damage option instead of the attack speed option. Is a possibility for what you could want here. That said, because Ahri does not have attack speed itemized, you actually do want the attack speed here because you want her casting as fast as possible. Like I said, because Ahri does so much damage to single targets, generally speaking, you just want her to cast as much as possible because she doesn't really need ability power. She gets AP from Spellweaver trait. Like, she doesn't really need more AP. As I said, she's usually overkilling the front line anyway, so she doesn't really need more damage. What she just needs is to cast more frequently, so she can cycle from target to target faster. That's why people go with the blue buff and the Gnasher's Tooth along with the Gunblade. Again, blue buff, Gnasher's Tooth means she just cast. That way she can switch from target to target, and the Gunblade then heals the front line. But again, Cymbal's items here are certainly not bad, and when Ahri is 3-star, she's going to take out everything. It's just like, if she had a Gunblade, it would be even better, because then the front line would be even more unkillable, although 2-star Alawi is going to hold up pretty well, as you know, it's going to hold up pretty well as is with, what is it, Anima Visage plus Warmogs plus Gargoyle Stoneplate. Those are all pretty good. Still, if Ahri gets focused in a fight, she can die. She does not have a way to heal herself, so if the front line goes down as it's doing against this country board, she might actually lose the fight. Can Hecarim win this? Oh, wow. Close. Close. 28k damage on the Ahri there, but wow, very close. Almost lost that one because, again, Ahri does not have any way to heal herself. Okay, well, that's a Blitzcrank and an Akali right there. So that could be 8 Blitzcranks, 7 Akalis. Gonna have to lock the shop for this. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. Why? Why sell the Akalis? I don't get it. I don't understand. That was 7 Akali's 8 Blitzcranks. Just be patient, Cymbal. Now, does he need 3-star Akali to win this game? No. Does he need 3-star Blitzcrank to win this game? No. I still don't understand though. Like, there's time. Like, you're not losing these rounds. Just be patient. Like, taking the Akalis out of the pool helps you hit the Blitzcrank, so it doesn't help you to sell that. I would only do that if I was like about to get knocked out of the lobby. So I don't quite get that. I think that was a mistake there. Again, these rounds have been close with this country player, and it looks like this is actually going to be a loss. So, wow, not undefeated after all. Maybe he does need the Blitzcrank 3. Okay. Yeah, that person is level 10. They've got the 3-star Samira. They've had the 7 country, and they've had that in for some very early date. And look what's on this carousel. Yeah, there's a Blitzcrank here. It actually is a Blitzcrank, and Cymbal with that loss actually does get to pick before this other person. So I have no idea if this person would have taken the Blitzcrank to deny him the Blitz 3. Probably not. They probably were not paying that much attention. But in any case, he gets to pick before them. So maybe that loss was a blessing in disguise. Now he gets to guarantee the 3-star Blitzcrank. Very, very nice. But like he could have gotten that off carousel anyway. He did not actually have to sell the Akalis to get that. Anyway, so he is going to take the bonus attack speed, and that's definitely the right choice here. You want the extra attack speed just so Ahri gets that bonus attack speed. She actually does not attack particularly fast because, again, she doesn't have a Nashor's 2. She doesn't have anything that would cause her to attack faster. And again, Lulu should be next to her and Sona. Lulu is basically being wasted by having her over by that tentacle, so that is, like I said, a bit of a minor mistake. So now there's 3-star Blitzcrank up there anchoring the front lines. This is actually not the country player. This is the Bruiser player who has a Sona 2 on their board as well. So beating this player and getting them out of the lobby would actually be really good because it'll put those Sonas back in the pool and make it easier to hit Sona 3-star, or Sona 2-star, excuse me. So yeah, you might notice, wait a minute, Blitzcrank did 8,000 damage. Isn't he a tank? Yeah, Blitzcrank is a tank, but he actually does a lot of damage as 3-starred. So just as a quick refresher on Blitzcrank, what he actually does, his passive is he deals magic damage to nearby enemies every 2 seconds. He has like the lightning barrier from standard League of Legends, if that still works the way it did back in the day. So he passively deals magic damage to nearby enemies every 2 seconds, and then when active, he gets a shield, and then his passive deals damage every second, and also deals 1% of target's max health as magic damage. So normally the little lightning zaps from his passive don't really do anything. They just like tickle the enemy. When he's 3-starred, they go from 150% at 2 stars to 1000% at 3-star. So his lightning effect suddenly starts doing real damage. Like, watch the Blitzcrank in this fight. Those ticks are going to go off every 2 seconds, and they're just going to start tearing through the enemy team near him. You might notice all the units near Blitzcrank are just dying in this fight, and that's, again, due to the fact that as a 3-star unit, he does real damage as well. So yeah, that's why Blitz is doing 7,500 damage, and of course Ahri's doing crazy damage too. So you can see now we've got Cymbal was having a little chat with this other person. The other person very, very politely said, "GG, well played," and then they're having a bit of a talk over here. Also, 2 more item components from the Kiana as well. I do want to highlight just how many components the Kiana has printed, plus the fact that this was Crab Rave delivering extra loot, plus the fact that he hatched the golden egg, plus he had Heartsteel in earlier as well. All that has meant that Cymbal has just an absolutely insane amount of loot on his board. Not only does he have all these units, he's also got like full items on practically every single unit as well. And then Cymbal's telling him, got the double duplicator, cashed out golden egg, got the artifact anvil, all that crazy stuff. Yeah, and there's going to be 2 more artifact anvils here. So he just has so much stuff. Now let's see if he can hit the Sona 2 before this game comes to a close. So going to finish itemizing the Sona. Now he can look to put, I guess, more items on frontline here. Adaptive Helm, Protector's Vow, something like that for the frontline. Yep, going to get that. Sona gets the red buff. Can he hit the 2-star Sona? There's more Akalis. Well, he's just taking the 5 quests out of the pool. But, there it is. There's the Sona. So that's going to finish putting this board together and then just make a Bloodthirster here. So yeah, I mean, look at how many items he has. It's pretty wild. Almost every single unit has 2 items. Only 1 or 2 of them is missing the 3rd. I guess the Lulu and the Echo don't have 3 items. But, I mean, Ahri 3-star, Blitz 3-star, Sona 2-star, Illaoi 2-star, Kiana 2-star. I mean, this is just an absolutely disgusting, insane board. As I said, I think it's the strongest board I've ever seen in Set 10 that wasn't... Maybe some things in Double Up, we had Double Up games that were a little bit stronger, but certainly in a single-player game, this is the strongest I think I've seen throughout the course of this set. Just absolutely wild and quite a crazy ride to get from the beginning of this game to the end of it. So I hope this was entertaining. This was a disgusting loot fiesta, but it certainly turned into a crazy performance from Cymbal. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks again to Cymbal for sharing this footage with me. Until next time, have a great time. Hope you're all having a great week. Take care, folks, and I'll see you again soon.